And while I say that, the guys are meeting around the table trying to figure out how to neutralize Hayden, how to neutralize Sutcliffe. They call Sutcliffe boss, wherever he is in England, run from the cold and told him you need to fire Sutcliffe because Sutcliffe is down here dabbling in Anguilla's politics, in his own country, in his own country's social and political development. They had a meeting and they said they had to find a way to get me off radio. But let it be known, I am the only radio talk show host in Anguilla that is not paid one dime and it's not sponsored by anybody. So they have a task on their hands. And they have really spike nice Anguilla concern rumors. Same person. And Mr. Devan Carty, the vice chair, with their propaganda campaign trying to destroy anybody who is against the United Fronters. And let me tell you this is your path of destruction. And they have said that only United Front supporters, only United Front candidates, and all the people who are associated with the United Front have vision. But the Minister of Finance just Saturday last said hindsight is 2020 when it comes to the 2009 budget, that they made a grave mistake, a serious mistake with the budget. Come on, man. I am not associated with the United Front, but I wrote an article entitled Anguilla Tutors on the Brink in January of 2009 after going through the budget figures. I gave a $100 million proposal in the budget where we need to cut so that we will not run ourselves into disaster. And guess what? They cut the $100 million after we run into a disaster. The government of Anguilla have bailed out the two local banks to the tune of $100 million. Mr. Banks said it's to create liquidity in the banks. But I bet you can't go and get a loan before being cash secured. You can't even get a loan for $1,000 without being cash secured. So what liquidity is there? And I hope the local banks survive and prosper because they are something to be proud of. Both Caribbean Commercial Bank and National Bank of Anguilla should be something that we should be proud of. But we need to stop playing the fool with the people. And this is why Sutcliffe Hodge should and must be elected in the upcoming elections. Mr. Rogers, Neil Rogers, we don't speak about him. He's a nice guy. I love him a lot. We get along very well. You know, if you go by a bar, he's always quick to buy you a drink. You know, and I love him. He's a cordial guy, a party guy, and I love him a real lot. And he have already said to me that there's no way he can lose because his family is too big. However, that's beside the point. He's a nice guy, and we are not here to say anything negative about him. But what we are here to say tonight is that it is time that the people of Anguilla put people in the House of Assembly that did not come off the ship in the States, did not come from the Virgin Islands, did not run from England looking for a job. We need to put qualified people in the House of Assembly that will represent your interests, that will represent the smallest man in this country, that will bring a national health insurance plan to the people of Anguilla, that will ensure that your social security dollars are protected, that will ensure that jobs are provided for you and the children and the children's children, born and unborn, that will ensure that the land is protected for generations to come. I am saying to you, Farrington, I am saying to you tonight, I watched a little documentary on the revolution, and there was an elderly gentleman, and this is 1967, and he said to the CBS News reporter that was on Anguilla, you can see it on YouTube, I forgot the name, Anguilla Rising, that's the name of it. And he said, all I want to do is leave something for the young ones, leave something for my children. The people in 1967 just wanted to ensure that they leave this for their children. And today the way we are operating is as if we don't want to leave nothing. Because 42 years ago, if those people had done to the land that we are doing today, if the government 42 years ago had allowed the people to do to the land what we are doing today, we would have been shacked up in some apartment complex or some project somewhere on the eastern or western or southern or northern skirts of Anguilla. We would have been in dire straits. And if we continue to do this, where will our children and grandchildren be 42 years from now? We need to lay the foundation for those to come. Because the people back then, they might not have any money, but they didn't have any debt either. They didn't have any money in their pockets, but they had love and togetherness. They didn't have any money, but they didn't have any worries. They didn't have any money, but they knew that they could leave something for their children and their grandchildren. This government of Anguilla has slashed the alien landholding license fee by 50% in order to facilitate the further selling of our country. This is a fact. I am not telling any lies. They cannot say that I am telling lies. These are facts. I am too aware that my father, Hayden Hughes, had to pay Chief Minister Osborne Clement and Victor Banks a lot of money for his mother already. And I will not fall in that trap. No way. I am too poor to do so. Hubert may be rich. The Chief Minister said that he had $7.5 million on the bank. So he might be rich, but he hasn't given me any. And that's a fact. And I am sad that the Chief Minister did that, because he is also the chairman of the Caribbean Commercial Bank. Transparency. And there should be no way that under the banking secrecy laws, the chairman should be divulging people's business into the public domain. And it is sad, and I hope the Chief Minister, before leaving office, can repent of his sins and ask for the forgiveness of from his people. I'm sure at night he repents of his sins from God, but I hope that he can do so to the people of this country. And so, while I wrap it up tonight, all I am saying to you is that we need to take away this affinity that we have with particular candidates. Because he's a nice fella, we should vote for him. Because he's a good guy, we should vote for him. We need to start electing people who would stand up for you. People who would stand up for you when you know you need someone to fight for you. For far too long, we have not had that. And Sutcliffe Hodge is the last, I will quote from being born asleep, the last train to San Fernando. Sutcliffe Hodge is that last train. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome to the podium tonight the first and only candidate that I have officially endorsed in this upcoming election. In the name of Sutcliffe Hodge. His record speaks for itself. He doesn't need to brag or boast who he is or where he came from. I know, like many people of his generation, he came from very humble beginnings. His father was a patriot of all patriots. And so Sutcliffe too could have been in some multinational company in California working. But he came back to Anguilla. He didn't even accept American citizenship. He didn't even accept American rights. He came back to fight for you. And this is his opportunity to ensure that you have proper representation in the House of Assembly. No more yes men. No more Mr. Belton Hughes getting up and saying, but Lord, I didn't tell me about this bill before I bring it to the House. But I'm going to support it anyway. No more of that. You will have people who will bring motions to the House of Assembly to ensure that a proper minimum wage is set. You will have people in the House of Assembly that will ensure that their severance pay. You will have people in the House of Assembly that will ensure that the rates does not get so high that you have to cut your electricity in order to save some dollars. You will have people in the House of Assembly that will ensure that when concessions are given, it is given on rice, sugar, flour, etc., instead of block, steel, and cement for these multinational big-time billionaires that come to our shows to exploit the resources, human, land, and otherwise. And this is why Sutcliffe Hodge is that man. Thank you. Good night. God bless you. And may God bless Angola.